Alright, welcome back everybody, or if this is the first time you've been to my channel, welcome. Alright, so this video is going to be a quick run through of a blind I built probably 5 or 6 years ago. It's super low profile, built right at the height of the gunnels. Aluminum blind that I did not weld. I'll kind of show you the technique that I use as well on that briefly. This is something that I built in direct response to a low cover scenario that we had on one of the big river systems after a flood knocked all the big stuff down. So that the year that I built this was after the low conditions. The next year, I think, of course, we grew up, but I still used it a fair amount the next few years. Haven't used it quite as much as the last couple of years just because I now have that 18-foot high-low blind that you maybe have seen the footage of. So this little guy here, what this is, I'll give you a run through of the whole general thing. This is a 16-foot long by 48-inch wide on the bottom, Alumacraft NCS, just means no center seat. So when I bought this, it was basically just a square front, riveted boat. And I wanted riveted specifically for the lighter weight because I'm not running rocks or anything like that, or stumps. Pretty much just marshes and maybe some sand. So I wanted a lightweight. When I bought it, it was basically just a shell. There was a front end up there, and there was a back seat back here, and that was it. So really the first thing that I did was cut the front, the whole front flotation and deck out with a grinder, which isn't the most fun thing to do, but it works. So my whole front up there is all storage. This is where I hunt from, obviously, a little dog spot. And here's where I drive from. I found a little 25 horse, 2-stroke electric start Merc. I looked specifically all over for one of those because they're about 100 pounds is up versus a bigger 4-stroke. It's got way more than enough juice to get me going. I can run, I'm sure, low to mid 20s, just me here. Alright everybody, we are back again after a quick interruption. Alright, so I'm just talking about the motor on this boat, how it scoots really well. It's a super lightweight boat made out of aluminum. I made this one again using the same tubing that I use on my big boats, 1-inch square, 1/16 inch walls. And the sheeting on this one, I used .040 sheeting as opposed to .032 sheeting that I have used on my other boats. I used a little bit heavier stuff on this one just simply due to the fact that it's flat and we are walking on this one a lot more. One, due to necessity to get in and out, but two, just because that's how people get around this boat evidently, just stand on it and sit on it, and the dogs are walking across it, so it made it just a little bit more firm and feel a little sturdier. Although I have no doubts now that I've used the lighter stuff that .032 would hold it, but either way. So this boat, I'm just going to walk you through kind of what I have and how I have it set up and what it does. I'm going to do a couple things. After I'm done, I'm going to take the camera and just kind of give you a quick little walkthrough and overview of everything so you can actually see what's inside of them. Right now you'll just get to see as I open up hatches and doors and see how everything operates. So we'll do that here quick, let you see what's going on, and then we'll go run through the inside. So up here on the front, I had, when I bought this boat, there was a front deck that came to probably about here, give or take. I cut that out with a grinder, completely took everything out, so it was just floor all the way up to there. My whole idea with that was to create a bunch of openings to store decoys. So I have right here a hatch that opens up all the way, you'll see that. I keep random stuff in there, decoys, parts of decoy bags, stuff I want out of the way, blind bags. This is my main decoy compartment. You can open it up all the way back like that if you like, along with this. It's just the same thing, opens up all the way. In this area right here, I can fit about 60 decoys, and all I've used for these, they've been good decoys. They're just a regular size flammable stone front. They work great for me. I've got them Texas rigged. I throw them in. That's a blessing and a curse, depending on the day, of course. So this is that blind. I've got a little hatch here if I want to keep it open like that and don't want to push all the way back, I can do that. So that's the front of the boat. Not a whole lot to it. Got it supported pretty well, more so than I would my other boats because we are walking on, so I put quite a few more of those across it. Holds it really well. So drop that sucker down here like this. Got this, that, we're good to go. You'll see right here, I've got a little dog hole. It probably should have been made a little bit bigger than I made it. It's kind of tight for my dog, but my dog's a little bigger. She's about 90 pounds. But she sits down there really no problem. I built a little hatch that comes up over her, really the same way that we have up here. So dogs or ducks don't see her when they're coming over. I've really never noticed them at least see her. I'm gonna run to the back here. We'll do that first, and then I'll go into the actual cockpit. So obviously you're probably wondering how the heck do I drive since that doesn't work. Wow, you can see this. We've got a big hatch here that opens up. I do have a seat back here yet. I sit right in that. Gas tank is back here, little battery is back here. I use all that just to drive. I do highly recommend having something like this. A little bit right there. This thing will blow over on top of you, otherwise when you're driving, especially if you're going 25 miles an hour and you catch a side wind, it's not pleasant. So I've got all that in there. I do have a little bit of storage between the gunnel and right here for things like life jackets on both sides, just other stuff that I don't necessarily need to be readily accessible, or places I just want to store things. I do also have a little hatch. Let's see what it is open. Right here. So that opens up. This is also where I keep extra shells, little emergency kit for repairs, all that kind of stuff I have just in here. That one latches down. I'll put this. I'll leave that back up for a minute. I'm going to hop in the boat here in a sec, so I'll be right back, and you will see kind of the rest of the blind, how that works. Then I'll give you the inside tour. Alright, so now this is how I drive. I actually just sit right on the frame or the blind itself and just drive. It works out really slick. I just actually built myself a little motor cover. I do some sewing on the side too. I make boat covers. So I just made a little Cordura boat cover, put a bunch of grass on it. That just sits right over there. Hides that fairly well, enough that I don't have to worry about it. I have a little storage area right here that is just accessible from inside. Keep my battery in there, and some wiring and things like that. So here's part of the blind. I think it's kind of really neat. So to get in here, what you'll see, it's probably hard to see exactly from there, but there's two seats right down on the bottom of the floor. You actually sit flat on the floor in order to make this so low. To get in and out of the boat, I've got this little panel that opens up right here. I'm going to close this. Alright, so this piece here opens up. I got a couple handles to be able to grab it. Now, one thing that I've talked about in my other boats that I don't like to have on boat lines is a big gap from bottom to top. Because the duck comes in there coming at that angle and they can just see right inside there, so it doesn't do any good to have a top if there's a big gap right there. So in order to be able to move, drive, get around with this thing, I built this piece short. It's only maybe 15 inches wide, the actual frame of it. But what I did, I built this little piece here that slides out to cover us over, so that when this piece here is in there, all you've got, plus I'll usually add a little more of this grass on it during the season. I haven't had this boat out for quite a while, for a year, so it's been, I'm sure some of the grass has gone away. But anyway, so I've got, all you have is just those little patches you can kind of sit back in there, out in the shade, out of the way, so they don't see you. It actually works surprisingly well. We've had ducks land super close, fly right over top of the boat, have no clue in some really tough cover situations. And I do have all just natural cattails on here. If I were to do it again, I'd probably just use tumbleweeds and just start fresh with that. I might do that because these are getting to be a few years old. So that's kind of the scoop on there. This here is actually, I have a little foot release that I push if you have, so when I hump it myself, I always sit on that side. Whoever sits over there is kind of in charge of foot release. When they push that piece down, there's a little wire pulls that back out of the way so you can shoot. You would be shocked at how many times you actually shoot a little more upright than you think you do. Everybody likes to think they get ducks in super, super tight, but even by your second shot, you're already starting to shoot up. And if you did not have that, you would be very limited in what you could do. So slide that back right as you go to shoot, and you're out of the way. So that's really all the main stuff in here. What I'm going to do is just grab the camera, give you a quick tour, and I'm going to show you actually how I made this out of aluminum without welding. I can't take credit for it. It's from a buddy of mine that I worked with. He had the idea, but I will grab the camera here, kind of show you the hatches, open everything up, and let you just see what it actually looks like from the inside. And then we will come back and talk again about the actual construction process on this one.